The timer has started. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tea Talks with me, your host, Teaonalamb. Today, I have special guest Tristan2nice, or Tristan, my boyfriend. Introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Tristan.
Today, we are going to be doing the podcast that will be... Sorry. We're going to be talking today about college. College is not something that we have brought up yet on the podcast, but it is something that Tristan and I have both obviously experienced. We have both already graduated. We both graduated from the same university, just 2 years apart. So we're going to talk about our different experiences in college, how we navigated college, maybe even talk a little bit about what made us decide on the school or what our college acceptance process was and stuff like that. But it's very college focused. But before we get into that, I do want to bring up that if you guys hear an echo in the recording, I apologize. I just moved to a new house. That's why everything is very barren. There's not going to be that much flashy lights. It's not going to be as pretty. It's just very barren. It looks relatively the same, but there's something new outside my window, and I don't know. It's different. But I'm going to look over the recording. If it sounds echoey in the actual upload, I apologize. It is all I can do. There's nothing much I can do here. I'm stuck with an empty ass room. But let's first start off by talking about... Let's just talk about our thoughts on college, or what our majors are. Actually, that should be the most simplest thing. I graduated with a bachelor's of science in advertising with a concentration in management, with a double minor in communication studies and anthropology.
Nerd. I graduated with a civil engineering degree with a focus in construction management and transportation. I am currently not doing anything with transportation, but I am in construction management, so
is that supposed to
at
be a
least I
diss
got
at me?
something.
Is that supposed to be
What?
a diss at me, sir?
For what?
For not using my degree for my career?
Move on.
You just dissed me.
This is your life choices and your decisions. I'm
Okay,
just here.
but you are the one that's calling me a nerd when you're the one with the STEM degree. And you're the one that likes math. So I don't know about that, but that's screaming nerd to me.
More like genius. Dumb people call smart people nerds. Think about that.
You called me a nerd first.
And what does that say about me?
That you're stupid.
Exactly. Move on.
So we're just two stupid people. Oh my god. Okay, so then why did you pick to go into specifically civil engineering and your specific concentration focuses?
Growing up, I was more focused on building with Legos and stuff. Even to this day, I love building Legos. When I was 3, 4, 5 years old, I would have a box just filled with random Lego pieces, and then I would construct a really big tower or a robot, and that just grew into my desire to build structures or build anything in general with just a set of plans now, and regular Legos where they come in a set and instructions. I like to follow those. So growing up, I wanted to do something with that. I wanted to be an architect at first. But Asian parents, specifically mine, said that there's no money in architecture, which is a lie. There's really good... If you're really good at what you do,
which you are,
obviously you're gonna get paid a lot. And I was building, I was designing, I was being an architect in like high school or whatever.
Oh,
But then came junior, senior year where it was application season time and I had to decide what to do.
yeah.
And they said, don't do anything with architecture. Try to attach engineering somewhere in architecture. If you really want to do architecture, make sure it's engineering based. So I was like, what the frick is
This is okay.
architecture? Is
Uh-huh.
architecture and engineering? So I was like
Mm-hmm.
on Google, I was looking around, I was like, hey, civil. Civil engineering is the construction of, in layman's terms, bridges, buildings, and that's basically it, what people think civil engineering is about.
True.
False.
Oh.
There's civil engineering is a huge umbrella, which there's transportation, there's environmental, there's water resources, there's structural, there's geotech, there's a whole bunch of other branches of civil engineering, and I decided to go with construction management. And
Mm-hmm.
at the time, transportation during college was a lot of fun, especially because of my professor.
Okay.
My professor at the time reminded me of the old man from Up, Mr. Fredrickson. Same build, same facial structure, had the same glasses. He had a cane at one point,
Okay.
and I was just like, damn, this is crazy. And he just made transportation seem like a lot of fun. But then I graduated and I didn't really do much with civil engineering per se in terms of getting my EIT, which is my engineering and training license. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but other than that, I'm doing fine. I know a bunch of people with FEs right now or their EIT who are not doing
Yeah,
anything
I know.
with their degree or with their license. And I'm very blessed to be in the position that I'm in with my current
Mm-hmm.
job where I don't need my EIT.
That is
I
true.
have a coworker who graduated from Davis who has his EIT. We're at the same job. He started a month before I did, and we're getting paid the same.
I was gonna ask, hey, is this the person that I think it is? Okay. Um, well, at least you're able to do something in your passion, which is something that I'm really happy about. Um, as for me, oh wait, no, before that. So you chose engineering because of your love for building, which is good because that means
No,
like you.
I chose civil engineering because my
Okay,
parents told me to do it.
okay, yes, but it's a branch from you liking building in Legos. Because, like you said, your
Yes.
path was I like building things. I want to be an architect. Oh, my mommy and my daddy won't let me be an architect. I'll do civil engineering because
Mm,
it's the same branch.
mm.
Um, so then when you were applying for college, how many did you apply for?
I only applied to, I want to say 6 or 7
6 or 7?
CSUs.
Oh,
Only just CSUs because I was
oh.
too lazy to do any of
You see application essays?
my UC application essays. And I had help with that in high school, but I was a terrible writer. I was just like, fuck that. My SAT scores they weren't anything to brag about either. So I was just like, CSU it is. So I did SJSU, San Jose State University. I did Cal State East Bay. I
Mm.
did Sacramento State.
Oh, wow.
I did Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. I
Mm-hmm.
did
That's a regardless, whatever.
CSU LA. I
There's a CSU
did.
in LA. I didn't even know that.
It's more than just UCLA dingus.
Mm-hmm.
CSU LA and then CSU San Diego or SDSU San Diego
Yeah.
State. So that's like 6.
Mm-hmm.
I got accepted into San Jose State, obviously, because I went there and graduated there.
Woot
Uh,
woot.
I
Kidding.
went
It's not what we
to,
would.
I got accepted to Sac State.
Oh.
I got accepted into CSU LA.
Mm-hmm.
I also got accepted into Cal State East Bay. So of those four,
Oh. Wait.
but
East
I
Bay
was
is so much closer
waitlisted.
to you. Oh.
I got waitlisted
That's slow.
in no, I got waitlisted for
San Diego.
SDSU. Oh,
Mm.
there was also SF State. I
Oh,
applied
yeah,
to SF
yeah.
State and I got into SF State. So I got SJSU, SFSU, Cal State East Bay, Sac State, and CSU LA.
Uh-huh.
I didn't go to CSU LA because at the time I didn't want my parents to spend money on room and board,
That's
and
true.
I'd have to move everything down. And I hate the LA heat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I would
Facts.
not survive in LA with that heat. So I was
You
like,
would not.
fuck that. At least I got accepted.
Mm-hmm.
Sac State is another place where it was super hot during the summer
True.
and shit like
It's a
that.
literal desert.
And I would not survive there. I kind of regret that, along with my cousin Nico and my sister Faye. We
Why?
could have had an apartment with my cousin Matt, who went to Sac State and had his own apartment with his
Uh-huh.
own room,
Uh-huh.
own walk-in closet, own bathroom.
Because Sac is
Yeah.
cheap because it's a desert.
So he had his own personal suite with a common living area and common kitchen. I think he was only paying 800 to 900 at the time for his own room, own walk-in closet, own bathroom
For like an apartment.
in like an apartment complex dedicated to just Sac State students. So
Oh.
I
So
was
it's like
lightweight
27
jealous though.
North?
I don't know. I really don't. But okay. My cousin and I were not talking at the time for some reason. We're close as hell, but for some reason during senior year into freshman year, we didn't really talk about colleges or whatever. So we didn't really talk, and he went to Sac State because it was like 30, 45 minutes away from where he lives. And
That's true.
the reason why I didn't want to go to Cal State East Bay is because I knew a lot of people from my high school going there. So I didn't want to be like, damn, I'm going to high school 2.0 where I
Okay,
need to
okay. That
see
kind of
everyone.
makes sense, but it's still different because everyone has different majors.
No, but still, I didn't want to do that. Some of
You
my
didn't want to risk it?
closest friends, some of my best friends went there. Um, my what's it called? Other choice was to go to SF State, but I
Mm-hmm.
was thinking, damn, I have to commute.
To
I'd rather
SF, that's like an
off
hour.
myself. So I said, no, hell no. And then I
Mm-hmm.
was thinking, you know, how can I be close to home but also far from home at times? And
Mm-hmm.
I chose San Jose State. So I went there. Plus, their engineering program is really good. So that was another pro in the pro con list of mine.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, for me, I applied to only three. I applied to only three schools. I applied to San Jose State University without needing to pay an application fee for some reason, which is super cool. And then I
Because of your
applied
high
to,
school.
I know, and then applied to Santa Clara University. And then I applied to, I think, I don't remember. Okay, there's two schools. I don't remember which one I did. It's either SFU or USF. San Francisco University or University of San Francisco. They have both of those in SF, but they're two completely different schools. I applied to whichever one had a better business place because I thought I was going to go into business. But both Santa Clara University and San Francisco, either SFU or USF, they're both Catholic private schools.
Woo! Let's go. Jesus bless up.
And for both of the applications for both of the universities, you have to write something about religion and like your take on it and things like that. Because when you go to, at least I know a lot more about Santa Clara University, you have to take religious classes or religion classes because like that's a prereq for most of the classes, or that's part of your
Love that.
GEs. I did not get accepted to either the San Francisco School or Santa Clara University because I had a low GPA. I had a 2.6 GPA graduating out of high school.
Yeesh.
And
I
so I
was
got,
summa cum laude in high school.
and what else?
What do you mean, what else?
Was there anything else in your accomplishments in high school?
I was voted as most spirited as a senior favorite. I was powder puff cheer captain. I was working.
It's funny because this kind of ties into how his college life was. Anyway, so I graduated only with a 2.6 GPA, but my SAT scores were 1,150.
Is that
Out
the
of
new system or the
new
old
system out
system?
of 1,600. You think that I'm gonna flex a 1,150 out of 3,200? You think that's gonna be a good score?
Was it 3,200? I thought it was 24.
Was it? I thought it was 32.
2,400.
24? Well, I got a
Oh,
1,100 out of 1,600. I got an 1,100 out of 1,600 on my SATs.
is that
And
good?
yes, that's good.
I thought they just got rid of the essay portion.
They did get rid of the essay portion. I
Okay.
was 400 points off from getting a perfect SAT score. What do you mean? I got more than 1,000. My brother didn't even get up to 1,000.
Technically 450, but okay. Go on.
Whatever. So I got into the San Jose State because of my high school having a deal with San Jose State of if you have a good SAT score but you have mid-ass grades, you can get into San Jose State no problem, and vice versa. So I was accepted to San Jose State, and it's the only choice that I had. Well, technically no. Either I could have went to San Jose State or gone to community college. I decided against going to community college because of my dad pressuring me to not go to community college because, quote unquote, if you were to go to community college, transferring into a university is going to be much harder because of a waitlist process.
True.
And so I was like, I'm scared. I ain't going to do that. And then I went to college. But I regretted it immediately because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I didn't really have any passions. I chose advertising out of accidents and not out of passion. I had no passion doing anything or for any major throughout the entirety of my college career, other than anthropology. But after taking more anthropology classes, I lost that passion because I was just like, I'm bored. This is just all dead people. Like, I don't care. This is just history 2.0. Like, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. And then I figured out after graduating what I wanted to do. So I hate myself, but it's whatever. I decided,
Content creator.
no, I want to go into MIS. I want to go into IT because of my experience in IT and me working customer service for so long. So I want to go to school for IT. But I did not find out about that degree until like my last year of college. So I'm not going to waste another 4 years of my life and money, not even my money, to do that. So, but what would you say going into college you wanted to do? Because obviously, from what I know, since I've been your girlfriend for a while now, like you've told me a good amount of stories from college, you did a lot of extracurriculars. Why?
No,
Well,
I
technically,
didn't.
yes. Yes, you did.
In perspective, more than you. But no, I was not in a lot. No.
Okay.
My
A
freshman
lot of
year,
extracurriculars with
I
the
wouldn't even.
addition of working as well as getting a degree. Okay, but okay,
So
freshman year.
for freshman through junior year, I was commuting from where I live now to San Jose, which was approximately 30 minutes to get from point A to point B. But I had classes at 7:30 in the morning for Monday through Friday, all 3 years.
It's cancerous.
And I had to sit, this was before COVID and all that shit with like lockdown and people are not working from home, whatever. It took me almost an hour to get to work, not work, to school. And then my days would end, my last class would end at 5:45 Monday through Friday. Obviously, I had gaps in between, but there was like literally nothing I could do other than just sit in our student union, watch The Office, do homework until my next class. My last class ended at 5:45, sometimes 6:30 because of labs. And from SJ up to where I live now, it took more than an hour, sometimes an hour and a half. There was this one time, there was like this person on an overpass trying to commit suicide, and it backed everyone up for almost 3 hours. I did not go to school the next day because of how tired I was just sitting in that. So I just called it. I was like, nope, I'm not doing that. So a lot of my college career, I would say a good 75% of it was wake up, go to school, go home, do homework, and then repeat Monday through Friday. But every now and again, I would do other stuff. I joined a Filipino club on
What
campus.
would we call that? I guess it's a Filipino. It's like
It is a Filipino organization, Filipino club,
a Filipino like cultural appreciation club.
cultural club. When if it's a cultural club, it implies the appreciation of it. Dingus.
Eh.
So I joined that. I did a mentorship program where I got a kuya or like an older brother who was just some sort of mentor.
Or in like frat/sorority terms, a big.
Yeah.
Same
Um,
thing.
and then I also joined the internship program for that Filipino organization. However, I
Akbayan had
had
one?
class, yes. I had a class during the time of when they would meet. So I was on independent study for like the first semester.
Mm.
I loved the mentorship program, or yeah, the whoever ran it was great. And then um yeah, I just did independent study, and then my second semester I was more engaged with the class because I didn't have a class during that time. And it was pretty cool. I did just the whole freshman year, it was fine. Second year I didn't really do much, but second year is where I met one of my closest friends to this day, Mel. She she got picked up by my kuya or my big, and that made us sibs to the point where we were really close, and I was hanging out with her a lot more than my big, and it was mostly because my big was busy doing other stuff for the Filipino organization, and Mel and I are really introverted to the point where we don't really do much with the org. If we're invited, we go. Um, and then after that, junior year is when I picked up an odding or like a younger sibling kind of thing, a little,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, every now and again I hit her up. Not really. Um, her birthday's in August, so whenever that comes around, my birthday is also in August. She would greet me, and I would greet her, and that's like the extent of it. We went to Big Time Rush together. I went with her and Mel. Uh,
Wait, so Mel's sister is your outing?
no,
You said that
no,
you
what?
went to Big Time. I don't know.
I went to Big Time Rush with Mel, Mel's sister, and my outing.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what confused me. Okay.
So, um, other than that, my freshman, sophomore, junior year of college was mostly just focused on school because my dumbass applied for general engineering.
My favorite part of the story.
My dumbass applied for general engineering for SJSU. And then it came to the time where we had to sign up for our next semester's classes, and I had a block on my account because essentially I didn't have the prerequisites of the major civil engineering on my profile. I couldn't apply to these 3 classes that I needed to get into.
These upper div classes.
Mostly because I was not a civil engineering major.
He was a
So I
civil
went to my
engineer at heart.
so I was going 2 years into
Clueless.
college thinking I was civil engineering. Come to find out I was not in civil engineering, I was in general engineering. So I went to my advisors almost every week asking them what can I do, what can I do, what can I do, because I need to sign up for these classes.
Mm-hmm.
So what they
Befuzzled.
did was they admitted me to these 3 classes that everyone called the Holy Trinity of Civil Engineering and Mechanical Engineering. The 3 hardest classes that you can take before your upper division courses.
Oh yeah.
They said, we're going to admit you in here. The only caveat is that you have to ace all of them in order to be in civil engineering. And I was like, fuck, because these classes are hard. They are difficult, and I'd rather not be a civil engineer. Be a civil engineer. And I was constantly asking myself, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Like, fuck it. Yeah, I'll do it. Whatever. I did it. So I signed up for those classes. I took those classes. 2 of them were mechanical engineering classes where I was like, why am I taking mechanical engineering when I'm a civil? Mechanical is about everything moving. Civil, everything
Everything
equals
stays
0.
still.
Everything equals 0. That is the best way to describe civil engineering, where things need to be stable. Forces equal to 0. Things cancel out to equal 0. But no, mechanical engineering has all these little gears and shit that need to move, and friction and heat and whatever. I had to go through a semester of that shit, and it was miserable to the point where I could not think about doing the Filipino club anymore, or hang out after classes, or do anything that I thought that would be fun. Because that whole semester I was just focused on getting A's. At the end of it, I did get all A's.
Because he's too big brain. He's
And
too
because I
big
put the
brain.
time and energy into those classes. And
Or
then
because
I
you cheated.
still... No, I never cheated.
Ever. You have to be lying, Tristan. Like
No.
okay, what about high school or elementary school? You know what the little binders that you put in front of yourself so
No,
like you can't see?
I was in the GATE program. I don't know if you
Okay, well,
remember
I
that.
was supposed to be in the GATE program, but then
Okay,
they shut it
supposed to
down.
is
So
not in it.
they shut down the GATE program before I could get into it because they had no more funding
So
because I was living in the ghetto.
anyway,
Whatever. Overachiever ass.
okay, look at where I am now.
My boyfriend.
Mhm.
Fuck you.
Anyway, anyway, yin
Uh-huh.
and yang, you know, yin and yang.
The stupid and the non-stupid.
I have a little stupid and you have a little smart. So
Thank you. I appreciate that.
just a little bit. If we were to draw it out, my stupid is just as small as your smart.
That's very rude, but whatever. Talk about your greatest achievement.
My greatest achievement? I don't know, graduating? What do
Oh
you
my
what do you want me
god.
to say? What?
About you passing your
Oh,
classes.
yeah. I passed all those classes and then um I think the summer that I was like after those classes this summer, I get a message from the dean with me copied into an email saying,
The dean
"Please
of
change."
engineering.
Yeah, the department head, whatever, the dean, yeah.
Mhm.
"Please change Tristan to civil engineering instead of general engineering. Congratulations, Tristan. Glad you're on the team," or some shit like that. I had a screenshot of it. I don't know where it is, but I did that shit. I did
Yes, you
great. I
did.
felt great. And then sophomore year, it was after sophomore year, so junior year into senior year, I was a civil engineer. Um
Woo!
until yeah, and then senior year, my first semester, I get invited to initiate into
A
the national
fraternity.
the National Civil Engineering Honor Society called Chi Epsilon.
Which started off as a fraternity in the 1900s.
Yes, but then they
So
didn't want to
my
be a fraternity.
boyfriend
They didn't want to be a
is
fraternity,
a
so they changed it to an honor society.
so
Yes, we use
my
Greek
boyfriend.
letters. Stop talking. They use Greek letters, but Chi Epsilon, which makes sense, CE, civil engineering. Chi Delta Chi is our motto.
Oh my god,
But
wait.
but Chi is an X if you really think about it. It's XE.
Yeah. Wait, but I never thought of it that way. Because Chi is CHI when written out.
Yeah.
Oh, I never thought of it this way. Oh my
So I
god.
initiated,
That's
fell
so
in love with the honor society, fell in love with the people who made it feel like a second home. My president at the time, Ruben, love him to death. I still look up to him because he was very helpful. He was a structural engineer in training. He
mm-hmm.
had a lot of wisdom and he was very welcoming to everyone. There is a running joke where everyone says that I am Ruben's favorite,
Good.
and every time like there was like a form to fill out, I didn't put my name. I just put Ruben's favorite, and everyone would know who
Okay,
that would be.
brown noser. What in the hell?
So at the same time, at that same semester, I went to the national, or they call it, I forgot what it was called, but it was where a bunch of
It's a
Chi Epsilon
conference.
chapters, yeah, conference. Uh, a bunch of Chi Epsilon chapters from all of California, including Hawaii, would meet
That's not
somewhere,
California.
would meet somewhere at a different CSU or different college to do the conference. Um, at
Oh, I
this
didn't realize
conference,
it
there's
was
like
at a CSU.
no, the one that I went to was at CSU. Other
Oh.
times they were at Davis, they were at Berkeley, they
Oh.
were at the like a couple years ago it was at SJSU. I couldn't go. But all of these chapters come together to compete with one another to see who the better school was.
Throw hands.
We got second. We took second.
Oh wait.
But I
I
have a
uh
video of
huh.
me leading a chant
Oh.
where I like just hype everyone up and we got second place, but it was still pretty cool. Um,
Who won first?
I think it was San Diego State. Yeah, it was San
San
Diego State.
Diego. That means that you could have won.
No.
Because
Um,
you got accepted to
no,
San Diego State, and, that's
I
about it,
didn't
right?
get accepted to San Diego State. I got
Oh, you got
waitlisted.
waitlisted. Sorry, you got waitlisted. So you could have. They knew you were
Um,
too strong.
so I fell in love with the honor society to the point where I wanted to be more than just an initiate, more than just an active member. So came election season, and everyone
Overachiever.
was pushing me to be vice president. I couldn't be president because I had to be in the cabinet or board of members before becoming president. And
Oh, so
this was
that means
going into
that
my last semester. This is
so
going into my last semester.
if you were like a quote unquote super senior, then you would have been able to be a
Yes.
president. I
Yes.
see.
So I was vice president, second best, I guess.
First best
Um,
in my heart.
my president at the time, Ryan, he was really cool guy. Very chill, very laid back. I was his vice president. Um, and then during the time that I was vice president, I was also a part of the initiation program where I was behind the scenes and I got to see who would be initiated. The coolest thing about that is during my senior project, I had 3 of those initiates
In your group?
in my group.
Were they brown
And
nosing you?
no. They
Oh.
didn't know that I was vice president of Kayab.
Oh.
They just, I was like quiet. I didn't want to say anything, but they said,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, did you get an invitation to Kayab?"
Oh, they're trying to flex
Um,
on you.
no, they were talking to each other, and I
Uh-huh.
overheard. I was like, "Oh shit, that's crazy." And at the time, we had shirts that said Chi Epsilon, and at the
Uh-huh.
same time, or like a couple weeks after they got their invitations, it was the general meeting. I go into class with like a jacket, but you can't see the polo that said Chi Epsilon on it. And they were just talking, "Oh, are you going to the general meeting?" And they were just saying, "I don't know, blah blah blah." So then now I turned around and said, I think you guys should try to go. It's a I heard that it's a great opportunity, blah blah blah. You get to
Uh-huh.
make all these new great
An
people,
advertising
and
major
it's
out
not
here.
it's not just um you get a full-time membership, but it looks really good on a resume. And they were like,
Vice
"Okay,
president
cool."
duties, trying to advertise the
And
whole
then they
honor
were like, "Okay, cool,
society.
we'll just go." And they're like, "How do you know so much?" I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I have a couple friends in there." And then the general meeting happens. I was there before, like 10 minutes before, and everyone starts filtering in, and everyone's like, or my group mates were like, "Oh my god, Tristan, I didn't know you were in Project High Up." It's like, yeah, I'm actually vice president,
Did you
and
Superman it? Did you like
no,
oh
we
that
had
would
a
be
presentation
funny.
that showed everyone,
Mm-hmm.
and it just showed that me, vice president, and then they all
Mm.
did that. So throughout the
Oh my
semester, up
god, I
until
got
initiation,
Tristan. Uh-huh.
they were kind of on edge in a way where they're like, "Oh shit, I kind of really want to join this group,
Okay.
but the vice president is in my senior projects group." But I straight up told them, "You guys are hell smart." Three of them, 2 of them only initiated. I don't know what happened to the last one, but 2 of them initiated, and
Question.
they're like, mm.
So initiated means like you were like, yes, I want to be in this. Or does it mean like you guys
Initiated
decided,
means
nah, you can't
they
be in
no
this?
no. You have to go through the process of initiating,
Okay.
meaning you have to do all these tasks. There's tasks that you have to speak with the dean, get their signature, speak with these professors, answer questions from the board,
Mm-hmm.
um, and then specifically do events where you participate in something that's academic, something that's for the community, and something to help your own personal career. It's very simple, pretty
Uh,
straightforward, but it
I'd be
was
too
their
fucking
choice to do
lazy.
it.
Fuck that shit, man.
It was their choice to do it, but they still ended up doing it.
Uh-huh.
The coolest thing is, after I left,
Mhm.
one of my initiates took my spot,
As a
KP,
VP.
as VP. It was so cool seeing KP as VP. And then the semester after, she became president.
Nice.
And then this is when the conference happened again.
Oh.
And I'm in their group chat as a trustee, and they were just sending updates about the event. And someone at the end of the event said, "Sorry guys, we got second again." And I was just like, "Oh no, it's okay, we got second too." And then they're like, "I'm just kidding, we got first." And then they
Oh, let's
sent a
go.
video
Uh-huh.
of KP doing my chant.
Aw.
So I was like tearing up, I think, because it was just great. It was amazing just to see
Cause you
that.
would do quite baby.
Okay. Well, that is my college career in a nutshell, where from general engineering to
The
civil
president or
engineering.
civil or sorry, to the vice president of Kayep.
Yes, ma'am. And I got this really cool jacket recently that I can't stop wearing because I feel so fucking cool in it.
You got it recently? That's what I was wondering. I was like, I've never seen this in your closet before.
That was recent. The president reached out to me asking me if I wanted a jacket.
I see.
Yeah, I
That
was like,
makes a lot
hell
more
yeah.
sense. Well, enough about Tristan. Let's go to my sad college experience.
Mm,
Um, the majority of my college, I didn't give a single shit about anything. I didn't care about my grades. I didn't care about my major. I just cared about spending time with my friends. I cared about a stupid toxic relationship that I was in.
mm-hmm.
Um, Shut up. And I cared about working. I worked for basically all 4 years of college. Um, like almost all 4 years. Um, Actually, no, yeah, I worked all 4 years. I worked on campus for 3 years straight. Um, but my first year of college was very much focused on making friends, um trying my best to have the college experience while not living there, and trying to forget the toxic boyfriend. So I ended up being really close friends with one of my classmates in, I think, like a math class I had. And then she invited me over to her dorm suite, because we needed to work on, like, we were going to work on homework together, because we became friends and stuff. And that's when I became friends with all of her housemates, and then became friends with all the housemates across the hall. And that's what started, like, my social life for that year. I went over every single day, stayed until 10 p.m., took the last bus home back to San Jose, or East Side San Jose, and which was an hour of my life on a bus all alone in the dark, um, to just go back home. And I went to a frat party for the first time, but it got shut down within 10 minutes. Um, Slept over in the dorms a few times, just like on their couch and shit. Um, Basically, like, also ate at the dining commons with them all the time. They snuck me in until, like, finally they, like, cracked down on that shit. Um, how they would sneak us in is that they would first check in with their ID and then open the side door for us, or they'll let us borrow somebody else's ID that has money on it. So that was the majority of my freshman year. I, like, worked at a mall near me for a little bit, and then I quit because I was not getting the money that I needed. But I honestly was not really focusing much on school or anything. I took the bus home with my best friend every single day, except for the days that I stayed really late. And then comes around near my birthday, which is in October, I got back with my ex, and then started to slowly not talk to my dorm friends anymore, and then no longer had friends, and then was just with this guy again for like another 2, 3, 4 months, and then we broke off things completely by the time it was summer. Um, and then for my sophomore to senior year of college or university, I worked in IT. I worked under the IT department branch in 2 different sub-departments for those 3 years, and that is basically what I did. I would wake up, take the bus to school, go to class, go to work, go home. Or if I had a late class, which I never really did, I would have the class. I would go to the class after. But most of the time, it would be wake up, take the bus, go to class, go to work, hang out with friends, take us home every single day, every fucking day. I took a look at all the clubs, all the frats, all the sororities and shit, but like none of it really was just like I want to invest my time into this. Like there honestly was not much. There were some things that are like, "Oh, that's cool." But at the same time, it's just like I kind of like what Tristan said, like I didn't want a high school 2.0. I went to my local college. A lot of other people from my high school went to this school. I would see them around, and also I just didn't really want to do much. I just wanted to go to class, work, hang out with my friends, hang out with my boyfriend, this, that, this, like enjoy life. And then I lost my job. I got fired from my IT job after working there for 8 months. And then so I was jobless for about 3 months. And within those 3 months of being jobless, I also was out of a relationship. I no longer was in a relationship and I no longer had a job. So I literally had nothing with my life. I had nothing to do, nothing, anything. So I spent all my time on just trying my best to make new friends and go out and meet people and try to live life. And then I got another relationship. So I just get into relationships. Tristan's shaking his head right now for the audio listeners. He's shaking his head at me very disappointingly. But hey, Bub, if I I was about to say that if I wasn't looking for a relationship, we wouldn't be together. Stop making that face. To the audio listeners, you guys really do need to watch for you guys to see Tristan's beautiful, beautiful facial expressions. My sophomore year though is where I met one of my best friends, Jordan, Tristan's like second boyfriend. Third? Excuse me? So Jordan,
can you date your cousins?
No, Tristan. Oh my god.
Kidding.
Jordan is one of the Jordan is actually one of my only college friends that I've kept since college. He and I had 2 classes together in sophomore year, and we basically have been like friends since then. So we've been friends for 3, almost 4 years now. Which is super crazy. But after losing my job and getting into a new relationship, COVID hits. So Tristan and I had some overlap in school, but then of course, like we're different majors. I'm 2 years younger than him, so he was already basically finishing up school. Kind of as not really quote unquote as soon, but like he ain't gonna look at me, I ain't gonna look at him. COVID hits, Tristan graduates through virtual Zoom graduation ceremony. And when COVID hit for me, of course, like I just started taking classes at home. I moved in with my boyfriend at the time, and that's basically what my life was. It was just waking up, going to class, going to work. Actually, no, work. I did not do COVID work. So I was jobless again. Couldn't leave the house because it was COVID. Just played games and just hung out with my boyfriend like every day. That's it. Had no life. And then I went back to work, and then my life was saved because I missed work so much. I missed being next to people. I missed being near people. And then after that, I decided on doing 2 minors. Course stacked 20 units every single semester for about 3 semesters and graduated on time, perfectly with my bachelor's and double minor. So as you can see, I didn't do jack. I didn't do anything. All I did was work, go to class, and socialize, which is the same thing that I did in high school, minus the work, which was just school and socialize. So, of course, when comparing my college life to Tristan's college life, they're vastly different. Tristan graduated with better grades than me, with a better social life than me,
I'll say that.
with more friends than me, better titles than me, a better degree than me, has a STEM degree in Silicon Valley. I graduated with a measly advertising degree with one friend. That's it. That's all I did. That's all I did. No, I don't have any other college friends.
Your long-time best friends don't count?
Longtime best friends are not college friends.
Well, they were your friends in college.
No, I didn't talk to Angel in college. We went to different colleges. She went to community college and I went to university.
Vivian.
Yes, but then like when I say college friends, I mean like for you, Mel, for you, KP, for you, all these other people, for you, Christy, for you, Harold. These people you met in college.
I met Christy after graduation.
Oh, but what I mean is
And
like
Harold.
people that you met in college and still are friends with now. The only person I have is Jordan. That's it. That's all I got. I don't have anything else. And I don't even have any funny stories about classes that I had because I have one. COVID breached into one of the classes that I had with Jordan. It was History 15. We were taking an exam, our final exam, on Zoom with all the other students and her on it. She was an old lady. In the middle of the fucking exam, she fell asleep on camera, just knocked the fuck out. While all of the rest of us were muted, laughing our asses off at the fact that she was asleep. And then like I sent it to Jordan, and Jordan wasn't even there to take the final because he decided with doing the mathematical calculations, if he does not take the final, he can still pass the class. So I'm upset at him for that because I reached out to him for like an assignment before the final. I was like, hey, yo, what did you do for this? He's like, I don't know, I'm not doing it. And so I did it alone. I had no friend help me with that shit. I did have drama though. I was talking smack about sororities because freedom of speech, First Amendment. And then there was this girl
that was time and place.
I was in class talking to a friend of mine about sororities because it was rush week. Time, rush week. Place, in class, gossiping to a classmate of mine before class started. Freedom of speech.
Really loud too, huh?
No, there was like barely anybody there. But there's this girl that was sitting in front, right in the row in front in BBC, in one of the lecture halls. In big black cock building. She was sitting in front of me, and I was talking about sororities and my vision or like my opinion on sororities and how like the idea of a sorority is nice, but also at the same time like paying money to have friends and connections, like it's good, but at the same time it's just like why? And then my friend / classmate Katie was like, oh, my friend was gonna like rush Delta Chi or fucking I don't know what fucking sororities there are. And apparently like how they haze the girls is that they put them on a washing machine and turn it on, and if there's any place that jiggles while you're on there, they circle it and tell you to lose that weight and lose that fat before you can join. And then the girl in front of us was furiously tippy tappy in front of us. And then me being a nosy ass bitch because she kept like side eyeing us, me being a nosy ass bitch, and because she was sitting right in front of us, and the seats are, what's the word, Tristan? Like
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know how there's gonna be 2 seats and like it's a pyramid, but like it's gonna be like ziggy zaggy alternating?
No.
Whatever. So I can see what she's typing, clear as day. So I, being a nosy ass person, invaded her privacy and read what she was texting. And then she was talking smack about us through text, saying there are these 2 stupid ass bitches sitting behind me talking trash about our sorority, because apparently she was actually in the sorority that we're talking shit
You need to
about.
be careful. What you say.
She was furious and she was like talking about this. She was like, they're saying this, they're spreading these bad rumors, this, that, this. And then, I think I brought up to somebody else. Oh, I know. Katie told her roommate that was the one that was rushing that thing. And apparently that roommate, she told her friend, that friend is in the sorority. That friend told the person that I was reading the text of, and in the next class, that person that I read the text of was sitting behind me instead. So word of mouth went around, got to the chick that I invaded her privacy of, and she sat behind me from that day on. But I loved that class. That teacher was great, taught me it was philosophy 19, or philosophy 9, one of the ones. It was like math, but with words.
I'm gonna be honest and say I would have thought you were annoying if you were to invade someone's space. How exactly did you invade her space?
Privacy, not her space, her privacy.
Yeah. Well,
by reading her texts over her shoulder, sitting normally at my spot, by just moving my head and going, I see that she's texting about us. That's it. Not fucking awooga eyes looking at her phone or anything. Literally, I was just naturally just looking. I was like, I can read that easily. And then just read it. And then kept it in my brain. What? So you're saying so you're saying like you if you're like sitting on a bus and there's somebody tippy tapping next to you, or like reading a book, you're not gonna like read the book with them or watch them.
I'd glimpse, but no, I wouldn't read.
Damn, respectful.
I am not like you.
I know. But can you not side eye the camera? You're so annoying. This is not The Office, you ding dong. Stop. You're not living in The Office. But yeah, like there isn't many other fun stories that I had like that I would like that I can remember or that I would like to admit. But I'd say that Tristan has had a more vast experience in college, but he was unable to experience graduation. I had a very minimal experience in college, but I was able to experience graduation. Those are the only one-offs I'd say that are most important between the two. And I'd say that my graduation was something that I really enjoyed. And it is thanks to Tristan that I had a great graduation. Shout out to my boyfriend. What do you mean, what did you do?
What did I do?
You were there. You recorded it. You still have not sent me the video. You literally never sent me the video of you and everybody else cheering for me. I still don't have the video. It's been almost a year since like, oh my god. I need to transfer over all of my shit.
What?
I have 2 weeks before my email deactivates.
Do that tomorrow.
I know. But Tristan was able to make my graduation experience very nice, very beautiful, very amazing. He and the rest of my friends, Jordan, Angel, Vivian, cheered for me on the top of their lungs. I could hear them as I was walking across the stage. It was something that I felt super happy about. It was something amazing. But I also had an anxiety attack because the line was so long and they started graduation like late but early at the same time and did not let people in as fast as they should have. So it was a really big mix of emotions, but I still really enjoyed it. So go Spartans, but also at the same time I hate Spartans. Tristan and I are graduates, class of 2022, class of 2020, woot woot. But those were college experiences, very vast, very different. Even though Tristan had a lot of extracurriculars, he still was able to go down the path of actually using his degree, which I'm very proud of him for. And I did the complete opposite, and I now work customer service like normal. But this is where I'm going to be ending the podcast. I'd say that we had gone through a lot, especially Tristan, which is always a good thing because I do prefer having my guests speak a little bit more than me because then we can document a lot more of their stories, and I just love listening to Tristan talk. So it's another excuse to just hear him babble.
Ew.
What do you mean, ew? But yes, thank you guys so much for listening and for watching if you guys are watching on YouTube. If you guys want to watch these episodes on YouTube, just look up Tea Talks with Teaonalamb and you'll be able to find these episodes easily. But everything should be linked down below. Tristan also streams once in a while. He streams on Twitch at TRISTAN 2NICE, tristan2nice. He shakes his booty on stream once in a while.
I do not.
He shook it once, and that was like 3 years ago. But
excuse me.
This is the perfect time to end. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to specifically Tristan's stories about college. He has a lot of other, I believe, fun college stories, and definitely fun high school stories. So I do plan on bringing him back for another episode to kind of go through those because I do like listening to those stories. I definitely want to share those with you guys. But if there is anything else that you guys want to hear from us, just let me know. Leave them in the comments of the YouTube video or join my Discord and let me know in the general chat. Thank you again so much for listening and for watching. And I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, night, morning, afternoon, evening, or whatever time it is for you guys. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye, bye, bye.
Ooh. Bye. Good night. Ooh.